It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Our featured matchup tonight out in New York, where the Knicks will be going up against the Phoenix Suns. Looking at the last game for the Suns, it was a loss to the Timberwolves. That game was a shootout. Defense will be the key tonight for them to bounce back with a win. It has been an interesting ride thus far. Kenny, some teams really improving after a sluggish start.
Yeah, well, credit the people running those franchises. Always look to improve. That's what you have to do if you're a franchise head. You can't just sit back and say, hey, we're going to accept this mediocrity.
No matter what your record is.
No question.
No, the season is a marathon, not a sprint. Lots
of ups, let me write that one down.
Just keep trusting yourself.
The season is a marathon,
not a sprint.
Not a sprint.
And then make sure you put Shaq-Stradamus.
Shaq-Stradamus.
Did you actually make that up?
Something that was already said many moons ago.
I've never heard that
you're acting like it's your original thought.
It is my original.
I've never heard that before.
It's not a marathon, it's a sprint. Yeah, get away.
Who said that before? I've never heard that.
Oh,
I got one for you, Ernie.
What's that?
E equals MC tripled.
Ah.
I've never heard that either.
No, nobody has ever said that either.
Think about it, though.
I've thought about it all I want.
I did the math. It doesn't work.
It's an interconference contest here in the Big Apple, New York, as the Knicks play one at home. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. A good game here would get this road trip started confidently for the Suns. On paper, you'd give them the edge, but of course they're not taking anything for granted. They'll look to come out strong and prove they're the better team.
And I think for the Suns, there's been such a different feel to them this season. The confidence that was completely absent from last year's squad is back, and they pulled themselves here into contention.
Well, for a team that didn't sniff the postseason last year, you have to wonder how they're going to handle the pressure of being in the playoffs this year. Not to mention the postseason itself, if and when they get there.
And we see it so often, Brent. A good team gets up for a big game, and they win. And then they fall down with their performance and lose to an inferior club the very next game.
An interesting point, because last year we saw this so much with the eventual champion Golden State Warriors, where they just seemed to be disillusioned with some of the competition on a given night, playing down to their competition. So if I was a coach in this league, I would use them as an example, that even the best team in the business struggles with this, and you have to find a way out of it. We're not the Warriors. We want to be the Warriors. So we got to break out of this funk a lot quicker, and this cannot be part of our identity as we move forward.
Looking at the starting five for the Phoenix Suns. T.J. Warren out there with Oubre. Then there's Devin Booker. Then there's Rashawn Holmes. And it's Johnson in at the one spot. Now here is Robinson. Just 5 on the clock. Trier, that's good.
From distance, when he gets into a rhythm early, it makes this offense a lot more dynamic.
Well, great to get him involved, particularly at the start of the game. This is what keeps guys engaged.
So it's Phoenix now after New York gets the 3. Warren the pass to Johnson. Oubre with it. Conley on him. Oubre can't get it to go.
And he completely threw the timing off on that jumper. That is how you D up.
Playing with tremendous aggressiveness without fouling. That's an excellent job.
Here's Trier. Johnson with the block.
Well, Tyler Johnson getting up fast to block that one.
Knox the pass to Smith. Shoots the 3. The offensive rebound. Out of bounds. Phoenix will take possession. And it's Phoenix's ball coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And unfortunately for them, they just ran into a hot shooting team and really had no answers.
This is what happens when you take nothing away defensively. Just too inactive in this game on that end of the floor.
Oubre, good. New York comes into this one following a loss to the Pacers in Indiana.
You know, they're the visiting team. It's a loud arena, very distracting at times, but simply no excuse for missing a ton of free throws.
Yeah, it just looked like, and I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but just never comfortable in this game. And the line certainly is one of those places where that could show up.
Here's Johnson following the score by Dennis Smith. Booker outside. Fires from 18. That shot no good. And New York will come the other way. This game against Phoenix here, it's the first look at the Suns.
And one of the few bright spots of their last season was sweeping the season series in this matchup.
At the top of the key, Oubre. And the foul on Dennis Smith Jr. That's his first foul. Bender, he's checked in for Oubre. Here's Holmes. 9-point game his last outing. And the whistle blows as the basket counts and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
Some of the greatest shooters in the game always talk about being on balance. Booker does a great job there. Keeps his eyes on the prize.
And if you look at the numbers for Devin Booker last season, I mean, he upped his assists and rebounding, his scoring and shooting percentages. He has continued to impress with his development.
Free throw good, Booker. And Greg, if you know anything about Devin Booker, so dedicated to his craft. What's next for him, you think, in taking his game to the next level?
No doubt. I think it starts at the defensive end. I mean, he's one of the league's best at scoring the basketball, but defensively, I think that's going to be the challenge if he wants to become truly an elite player.
And taken away by Johnson. Booker the bounce pass. Warren. Here's Bender. Kicks it out to Booker. From downtown, drills the three-pointer. Booker's got 6.
That's a nice stroke there from Devin Booker. He is a great shooter from deep.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Trier passes to Knox. Smith outside. Clock at 6. Shoots over Holmes. The shot's good from Smith. Smith's got his second basket of the night.
And the way Smith Jr. reads the defense, fantastic at taking advantage of that screen and roll.
Booker outside. Corner shot. No good on that one. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the New York Knicks. It's a three-point game. Fast break. Here come the Suns. That's good from Booker on the assist by Bender. And it's 8 points for Devin Booker.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Here's Knox. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Knox has got his first bucket of the night. Suns leading by 3. Johnson surveying the floor. And Warren, here we go. Robinson pulls it in. Robinson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Knox. It's hauled in by the Suns. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach David Fizdale. He knows they have to dig in on defense. They're facing a really talented offense. He said if those guys get going, we're going to be on the wrong end of some long runs. We have to be disciplined, work together, and make those second, third, and fourth efforts on plays, whatever it takes to get a stop. We'll see if they can get a win in this first matchup between the teams this year. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David. So knowing the kind of offensive team they're up against, they're coming in with the attitude they cannot let them get comfortable early.
Yeah, that's right. On D, they've got to come out with full intensity. Start slow, and they might find themselves in a big hole to dig out of.
Seems like Coach has made that crystal clear for them tonight. He's got them ready to play some very aggressive defense in this one.
Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Bridges, he's checked in for Rashawn Holmes. Josh Jackson comes in for Warren. And it's Crawford in for Tyler Johnson.
I like to see Jackson with these kind of plays, getting into the paint and then getting a little bit more creative with the scoring opportunity.
Now here's Moutier, guarded by Crawford. Unloads from 9. Pender with the rebound.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
It's tipped. And Josh Jackson picks up the foul. That's his first foul. The Knicks making a switch here. Dotson's checked in. Neely Keena kicks to Thomas. Here's Azania. Bender with the rebound. Bender's got his 4th rebound in this one. Jackson dishes to Bridges. Kicks it out to Booker. Suns moving the ball around. Crawford outside. The shot that time not on target. And New York will come the other way. Here's Azania. Last season, Brent, the addition of 2-way contracts. Does that make developing players in the G League even more valuable than it was before?
I believe last year, Kevin, that almost 50% of the players in the league, and it might have been a smidge more, had some kind of G League experience.
It's terrific.
And that's phenomenal.
Yes.
We're almost close to the 30 for 30 affiliation in the G League. You saw a success story last year in Quinn Cook coming up and getting a contract with the Warriors. This is awesome for the league. They've also upped the minimum contract for G League players to $35,000. All of these signs and the way that teams are using the G League, extremely positive, Kevin. And last year for the Knicks, a bit of a throwback offense. First in the league in 2-point attempts and second to last in the league in 3-point attempts. We'll see if the new coaching staff changes some of those numbers.
And the second free throw, good. So it's Phoenix now. Here's Crawford. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Booker left side. Got it for his 4th field goal of the game on just 5 shots. And talking about the Knicks last year, definitely one of the bigger teams in the NBA.
Interesting to look down at their scoring last year, as their top 4 scorers were either centers or forwards. And that's a little bit unusual in today's game, where most of the impact's coming from your point guard or a wing player. Not the case for the Knicks, so they're looking for some backcourt help.
Crawford with the ball. He's coming off a 13-point game against Minnesota. Passes it to Booker. Over to the left wing. In the corner, it's Crawford. 5 on the clock. Over Moutier. And that one goes long. New York's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. And Azania gets it to go. Azania's got it all tied up now for the Knicks.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Crawford passes to Bridges. And it's Bender at the elbow. Kicks it to Crawford. Booker outside. Right side Jackson. And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
I'm just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
Booker outside. Outside Jackson. Back to Booker. The Knicks pull it in.
Ooh, the D did just enough to keep him from scoring. Thought that was in for sure.
Can't leave anyone uncovered around Ntilikina. He is so adept at exploiting situations like that.
And the Suns call time.
And they've let things get out of hand. Good time to reconvene.
They're just on the wrong end right now of a big run, and they need to plan how they're going to shift the momentum of the game.
Troy Daniels, he's checked in for Phoenix.
Looking now at the numbers for Jackson. How's the last month of basketball been for him? Putting up about 10 points a night, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
From all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet in the box score.
And a really smart defender there. He just reads the play, wastes no time trying to blow it up.
And what I like best is that he does it completely under control. Really gives the shooter nowhere to turn to.
And here's Thomas, who brings it up for New York. Coach is liking what he's seeing from his offense.
And guys, they've put the defense on the defensive.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
And the intangibles of Lance Thomas, he's really pretty much an effort guy and team first with his attitude. He has been the team captain before, and some of the younger guys can learn a lot from the approach that Lance Thomas brings on a daily basis.
Hazonia kicks to Dotson. Bender with it. Thomas is on him. Bender with the bucket.
Now Bender enjoying right now sticking it to the defense, especially when he's that close.
So it's the Knicks now. Poked away. Crawford with the steal. At the top of the key, Bridges. Oh, that's blocked.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
And the foul called on Jamal Crawford. That's foul number 2 for him. Now here's Moutier. He's guarded closely.
If there's a skill set you'd like your point guard to have, that's exceptional court vision. Moutier shows it off there with that assist.
That's tipped. And that's out of bounds. Phoenix will retain possession. Almost halfway through the season, let's check out the standings out west. Take a look at the Warriors. They're looking extremely sharp right now, poised in the top spot and playing very well. And, of course, the Suns. They have a lot of ground to make up.
Well, right now for the Suns, this season has definitely qualified as a success for them. Their failures were well documented a year ago, and this year, the ups clearly outweighed the downs.
Well, there was no way you were going to limbo under the bar that was set for them coming into this season. So low. Just about anything other than a last place finish would have been considered a success. It's just terrific that they've gotten themselves into playoff contention.
Here's Bridges. Following the score by New York. Pass to Jackson. Fader on the way. Count that one.
Wanting to become more consistent as a threat, especially from the mid-range. Nice to see Josh knock that down.
1:52 left here in the first quarter. Dotson gets the bucket.
Got to give a ton of credit to the screener there. That was a perfect pick to give his teammate the space to knock down the shot.
Crawford with the ball. Now defended by Moutier. Daniels kicks to Bridges. Back to Daniels. And the 3 ball is good.
Just like to see the defense get more aggressive. They are asking for trouble as they're giving up open looks to this point.
Pass to Dotson. Now the pass to Thomas. Here's Hazonia. Good, and the assist goes to Thomas. Hazonia's got 8 points. Suns trail by 4. Now here's Crawford. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Thomas with the steal. The numbers in their favor. On up the court. Ntilikina gets the bucket.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Phoenix has gone 2 of 5 from three-point land here in the first quarter. Crawford up top, defended by Moutier. Crawford passes to Bender. Jackson dishes to Bender. Another 3 for Phoenix.
Bender looking comfortable shooting the ball right now. That's a great sign for him and his teammates.
Here's Johnson. 14 points from him the last game against the Pacers in Indianapolis.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Now Crawford. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. On the wing, Daniels inside and stolen by Hezonja. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Knicks lead by 5. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Devin Booker talks about the great intangibles of his young teammate Josh Jackson.
Plays super hard. He does everything out there. His instincts are incredible. I've never seen anything like it. Just defensively and offensively, just knows where to be at the right time. Gets his hands on a lot of loose balls.
A nice swing pairing for sure. Booker providing offense and Greg Jackson known for his defense.
And a young team hungry for improvement. Kevin, they're both looking to be a big part of that.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, what's your take on the Knicks so far?
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
Love the pace they're playing with. Anytime you can get your offense going without the defense setting up, you've got a huge advantage.
And a moment now to reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. Setting the floor for the Suns, we've got Rashawn Holmes, Oubre out there with T.J. Warren, and it's Tyler Johnson, and it's Daniels in at the 2 guard. And he makes the first. So many modern offenses no longer rely on a point guard to initiate the play. Tell us a little bit more. Walk us through that process.
I think a lot of teams, Kevin, are getting more towards motion offenses, almost playing in a secondary break where you've either coming off a score, you're coming down the floor, the point guard gets off the ball, and with all the players moving around and with the multifaceted skill set of your small forward and your power forward who's now playing at the point, distributing the ball, setting screens, DHO, because of that skill set, you don't really have the heavy reliance on point guard domination with the basketball, setting up every play, and being the only playmaker on the floor. Now you have 3 and sometimes 4 getting that job done.
Knocked away. It's stolen by Johnson. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
There's good aggressiveness there from Tyler Johnson, always attacking on offense and not afraid to get hit when he goes to the rim.
And Tyler Johnson, undrafted out of Fresno State back in 2014. One of those lunch pail players. Didn't take him long to make his mark in the NBA.
And that one falls for Johnson. And Tyler Johnson, a 6'4" combo guard. Greg, talk about how he straddles that gap.
Yeah, I mean, a shooter with athleticism. I mean, the lefty's still developing that right hand, but improving as a playmaker and game management right before our eyes.
Good on both. And here's Smith. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against the Pacers in Indianapolis.
And guys, what impressed me most was his passing. He constantly looked for the open man and found guys in great spots.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Devin Booker is a 20-point-per-game scorer since his second season in the league, and he knows you have to have confidence to be a great shooter. He said, know the work you've put in, trust your game. Just because you miss shots, you can't doubt yourself. They're supposed to fall, and they will if you keep shooting. Kevin?
Next shot mentality for sure. Thanks, D.A. Here's Holmes. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Here's Oubre. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
The Suns coach Igor Kokoskov, the NBA's first ever head coach, born and raised outside of North America. He will not be the last, but a great opportunity for Phoenix as this guy's paid his dues. 18 years as an NBA assistant, including 5 early years in Phoenix.
Free throw, good, Oubre. And Kokoskov, a pioneer, the first D1 college assistant coach out of Europe, also the first in that role in the NBA.
Yeah, in the NBA, he reached the conference finals 7 times and the finals twice, so he's seen what it takes and what type of competitive environment it is when you reach those elite levels. And in 2004 was on the staff for the Detroit Pistons when they won the NBA title against the Lakers. So been around a lot of winning.
Now here is Smith. 8 points for him. Outside Robinson. And Rashawn Holmes gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Smith with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. 6 on the shot clock. And that's a foul called on T.J. Warren. That is his first foul of the game. Smith in the post. Johnson on him. Smith the pass to Vonleh.
Well, staying with his man, Warren has the body to annoy shooters on the way up.
Johnson outside. To the paint. Here's Warren. A miss that time. Would have put him up.
Pretty surprised he missed that shot. The defense was decent, but not really a factor.
And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Trier. The three-pointer no good.
He sunk that 3 in the first, but's yet to make another one.
Smith against Johnson. Rebound by Smith. New York's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by Warren. Johnson finds Holmes. 1 up, 1 down. 2 points with his first shot this game. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
And the foul on Tyler Johnson. That is his first foul of the game. And Phoenix making a change here. Booker's checked in. And stolen by Booker. And oh, here we go. Warren's got it. The fast break chance. Here's Holmes. Off target with his 3. The Knicks have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Knox misses. Phoenix has gone 3 of 7 tonight from 3-point territory. Got a piece of it. Here's Trier, defended by Booker. Smith with it. He's got 8. Here's Trier. And again, it's the Knicks missing. The Suns leading. Johnson outside. In the corner, it's Oubre. 6 to shoot. Johnson kicks to Warren. Offline with his 3. New York shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. Oubre with the steal. And finished off by Oubre.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, he picked up the ball clean. He has a sneaky court awareness that you have to be careful around. That time results in the steal.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And Kevin, he saw his guys just a little sluggish out there. Oftentimes a timeout like this allows you to kind of just reset.
Frank Ntilikina is checked in for Trier.
And taking a look here at some numbers for Booker. Over the last month, he has been spectacular, averaging about 22 points per, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. And just look at those scoring totals. He's been doing what he does best, putting points on the board.
His instincts naturally are to score the basketball. That ability to find the creases in the defense is something you just don't teach, and it's awesome.
And it's Phoenix's ball. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run. And it's blocked.
Well, you notice the length there from Vonleh, allowing him to get that shot block.
Passes it to Knox. There's the 3. Rebounded by Holmes. Phoenix leading by 3. Here's Booker. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
You know, Brent, when you think of Devin Booker, you immediately think scoring. But he's become, as time goes on, an excellent facilitator as well.
Well, I think he's learning to do that, Kevin, because of the playing time that he's getting. And the defenses that he has seen in the early part of his career have been quite unique. You know, 2 out of the first 3 years that he played in the NBA, he's averaging over 20 points. So the passing part of his game, the more feel part of his game, it's coming along nicely.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
Knicks trail by 6. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And Robinson gets it to go on the assist by Smith. And so here's Phoenix. Their defense has only allowed 4 points in the quarter. Johnson with it. Now Smith defending. Oubre dishes to Johnson. Throws it up high and finished off by Oubre.
I just really like how Tyler distributes the basketball, skilled at quickly getting the ball over to the open man.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play, sponsored by Under Armour Hover Havoc. And Phoenix pushing it up now. 9 feet out, the 8-footer. Robinson with the block.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough. And the next one puts them in the bonus.
Mario Hezonya's checked in for the Knicks. Josh Jackson's checked in for Phoenix. New York trailing. Ntilikina passes to Smith. Robinson kicks to Smith. To the wing right side. Knox. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Knox has got his second basket of the night.
Sometimes trailing in the game, players get sucked into trying to make that home run play.
Booker against Smith. Booker finds Warren. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a 3-point play.
And not hard to see why they are giving up points on this run. Just too many good looks from in close.
You know, T.J. Warren is a great scorer. However, many of those buckets he puts in do not include, Brent, the 3-ball.
No, he plays in the mid-range game. Once he gets to certain spots in the mid-range and gets his feet set, he's going to end up scoring 2 points. So off-balance runners, he gets fouled. Just really has a nose for scoring the ball. what's the saying? If you're going to lose big. A lot of teams adopting that strategy again last season, the final year before the lottery odds are going through some new machinations and a bit of a change. The Suns, though, they kind of took the cake last year and ended up with the #1 pick. And no defender is going to have a shot against that kind of play. He's just too tall to stop that close to the rim.
Knicks trail by 8. Ntilikina passes to Moutier. Robinson for 3. That shot off the mark. And Phoenix the other way now. And the Suns, all those draft picks, bringing in some help. And Brent, they needed it.
Yeah, they're going to need that help quickly in order to compete. But with a new coach and a new language down there, it's going to be interesting how much both the front office, the coaching staff, and these players latch on to a new path for the Suns to get themselves competitive as quickly as possible.
And the Knicks with possession here after Mikal Bridges missing his last shot. Hezonja kicks to Dotson. Drills it from outside. Dotson's got 11 points.
Well, that's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
It's Jackson with the drive. The Knicks pull it in. Robinson's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Out of bounds, Phoenix takes possession. And now with this break, here are the premier glass cleaners among rookies over the course of the past month. Suns leading by 5. Warren finds Jackson. The shot's good. He's got 6.
Yeah, that's a smart pass as T.J. Warren does a solid job finding the open man.
And so it's Moutier with it. He'll bring it up for New York. Knocks it loose. Pass to Ntilikina. Five to shoot. Pulls up on the elbow. That one off the back iron and out. The Suns have gone 7 of 15 from the field here in the second quarter. Just under 50% shooting. And there's the foul. It'll go on Frank Ntilikina. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
And Josh Jackson, the 4th pick in that 2017 draft out of Kansas, a hyper-athletic 6'8", and he's got the handles, I think, to become a terrific slasher in the league.
The first one falls. And Jackson plays with a great motor. He's got some grit in his game.
I mean, he's a competitor. I mean, plays with that chip on both shoulders. But give me a guy who cares. As a coach, better to have guys you need to rein in rather than those you have to kind of force to be aggressive.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time.
You think about Josh Jackson and maybe him collecting 1 terabyte of information about how it is that Kawhi Leonard goes about his business. Great size, great length, great versatility. A good guy for Josh Jackson to look up to. And they can't afford to be that careless. They need him out there on the floor, so he has to avoid fouling again in this period.
New York shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
And on the season, you know, they're hitting about 76%, which is a decent rate.
That one is off.
What's interesting about Moutier is how cavernous the gap is between the strengths and weaknesses that he has. On the plus side, he creates shots for himself, but how many of those shots is he actually going to make? The other part about his game, though, is his distribution is pretty solid. So if he plays in the pick and roll, he can find teammates.
And still trying to find his footing in the league. Moutier must show improvement in his shooting moving forward.
Offensive rebound. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits. 10 points for Josh Jackson.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over. Another thing about Moutier, really good on-ball defender. That marks him.
Well, a better defender when his man's in front of him and not as good at chasing guys through screens. He seems to either get bumped off route or try to take shortcuts that cost him. But offensively is where it is. He needs to just be better at decision making and get that jump shot to be more consistent.
Vonleh's checked in for New York. Lasagna, the pass to Moutier. Bender with the rebound. Bender's got his 6th rebound on the night. To the inside. Here's Bridges, hits the jump hook. And now a 12-point Phoenix lead.
Well, we know he's a great scorer and a bit of a microwave, but Jamal Crawford can be a great passer. That was an unselfish play there.
Now here's Moutier. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Indiana. That one goes. Count it.
I love the advantage he has from a speed standpoint. Does a great job of creating separation for that shot.
Crawford with the ball. Defended by Moutier. Crawford outside. To the middle. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Here's Moutier. Count that bucket. Moutier's got 5 points so far.
When the fast break opportunity presents itself to Moutier, he really explodes down the court, getting an easy look at the basket there, thanks to his hustle.
Now here's Crawford. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Here's Booker. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. And the Suns lead by 10. Now here's Moutier, guarded by Crawford. We've got 1:23 left here in the second. Lasagna off target with his 3. Suns leading by 10. The drive by Booker. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Here's a look at what's coming up for New York. On Wednesday, they'll be facing Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers. Then on Friday, the Atlanta Hawks coming to town. That will tip off a homestand for them.
And looking at the schedule, it isn't ideal in terms of the upcoming games with the amount of quality teams they're going to be playing, but it's also a good chance for you to get some confidence and really see just how good you are.
The first free throw is good. You look at the Knicks free agent signings, Brent, haven't been so great over the past few seasons.
Yeah, a lot of that's been due to major injuries. When you sign veteran guys and you're in a situation where you're hoping to win now or get to the playoffs, there's a risk that comes with that. So at cap management for the Knicks, it's been a tricky game and one they've come up on the short end on.
Both free throws good from Booker. A coaching carousel certainly in Phoenix. This is the 4th different head coach in as many seasons. What does that do, Brent, to a young team?
Well, it's tough for development because if you don't consistently work with the same player development coaches, you might be learning things for an offense that might have to be reset every year. Igor Kokoskov is one of the more ingenious offensive minds in the game. This is why he's got this opportunity in Phoenix. And I look forward with the type of talent that Phoenix has, with how much creativity he can bring to the court, and hope these young players are excited for that opportunity.
Now here's Crawford. The 12-point lead, their biggest of the game. Here's Bender.
Well, a hard-working player with upside. You see Vonleh staying right with it there defensively.
Here's Dotson. He's covered by Daniels. Dotson kicks to Vonleh. Pass to Trier from the arc. It's hauled in by the Suns. Bender's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Crawford, no one around him. Trains the three-pointer. Crawford's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Well, that is what Jamal Crawford is known for, that unguardable pull-up jumper of his.
New York, no good that time either. And up the court come the Suns on the break. Bridges misses.
Oh, and the D did not make that any easier. Can't fault the shooter for missing. That's a tough shot. I'm just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
And so it's the Phoenix Suns riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at 2K Sports. Let's talk first half. Devin Booker had it going on in the first quarter. He ended up with 17 points, 2 assists, and 1 rebound. Kenny, let's start with you. What did you think about the Suns?
Well, they're making a living at the line, and that's a direct result of being aggressive. They're not just settling for shots that the defense offers them. They're attacking the defense and drawing fouls. That's big-time basketball, and obviously it's led to a big-time lead.
Shaq, what did you think about New York?
Way too soft in the paint defensively. They were all late on their rotations. Obviously, that's a recipe for getting cooked. You know, I like eating that barbecue chicken. They got to do better, Ernie.
And that'll do it for us. The third quarter about to begin with Kevin Harlan standing by. We'll catch you on the flip side.
My brother.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. You know, guys, Devin Booker has been exceptional here.
Yeah, good things happen when you maintain composure. Their shot selection has been extremely disciplined.
Hey, Greg, is there a shot that he's taken that has been out of the flow of the offense? I don't think so.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Vonleh is out there with Robinson. And it's Smith, and it's Knox in at the 3 slot. And that's the group for David Fizdale as we begin the second half. And here's Booker from the arc. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
Well, Booker's just filling it up right now. A tremendous scorer. Feels like he's getting better.
In it goes for the 8th time in 10 tries.
Now he's torching the D right now, hitting a high percentage of all the shots he's let fly.
Smith feeling it out a bit. There's the pass to Trier. Phoenix grabs the miss.
Somehow, some way, he couldn't get that one to fall from in between. Got to take advantage of the weak defense when you can.
Johnson's shot is off. Knicks trail by 20, and that's a foul called on Kelly Oubre. That is his first foul of the game. A little over a minute gone here in the second half. And there's the call on Devin Booker. That is his first foul of the game. Knox the pass to Smith. Here's Trier. Shot from 12.
Just a little lackluster so far with his effort. He's been very limited due to his poor shooting.
This guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, GA, he does not waste one of them.
Well, you love the NBA, but some of these guys have the DNA. He also outworks everybody. Filthy combination. Yeah, 3 of 4 to start this half offensively. They've been great.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. Some nice passing by New York here. Here's Knox.
That's 1 for their first 4 to start the second half.
Off target from 3-point range. Johnson finds Warren. It's good with the assist that time from Johnson. And that's now 7 points for T.J. Warren.
I always feel like he's around the rim and sniffing out more points. T.J. Warren feeling very much at ease with that quality of a shot.
Now here is Robinson. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game.
They're 1 of 5 to begin this half, guys, and they have to address this problem quickly or this could get out of hand.
And you got to like what they're doing offensively, executing at a high rate and starting to pile it on.
Yeah, we're sitting here midway through the game now, and we're starting to see them take more and more control. They look very confident in what they're doing.
Frank Ntilikina is checked in for Trier. That free throw good from Warren.
And remember, T.J. Warren, he averaged 25 a game his second season at NC State. You want to know his role in the NBA? It's quite simple, a professional scorer.
New York calls timeout. And with Warren, with kind of an old school approach, Greg, very active with his mid-range game.
And this guy can get buckets around that rim. As he stretches his range, I think he'll only get more and more dangerous.
And the Knicks making a change here. Cornette's checked in. For New York, they've gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. Very slow start offensively. He kicks it to Robinson. Inside, passes it to Ntilikina to stop the run. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Warren, the pass to Johnson. Phoenix, no good that time either. A difficult situation for New York. Down low, Knox. Oubre pulls it in. Oubre's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Johnson, the pass to Oubre. Lets it go. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got 4 assists now tonight.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Now here is Smith. He's got 8. Knox, the pass to Cornette. Here's Knox. Shot clock at 6. Smith for 3. Good for another field goal. Number 5 in the night. 5 for 10 shooting.
An average shooter from deep. It's clear Smith Jr. has the touch and focus. Just needs to be more consistent.
Warren dishes to Johnson. In the corner, it's Oubre. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. The Knicks have gone just 25% from the field here in the second half. They're 2 of 8. They get a hand on it. Here's Melton. Johnson, the pass to Oubre. And a missed layup. And that's a foul called on Kelly Oubre. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, clearly struggling here with the foul. Still early. And just one more will put him over the limit.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Ellinson's checked in for Robinson. And Allen subbed in for Knox. Pass to Cornette. Here's Ellinson. Got a hand on it. Now here's Johnson. And they get some nice contributions from him on a nightly basis as he averages over 11 points a game.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Here's Ntilikina. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Shoots a fader. New York, no good that time either. And here's Phoenix. They're on a 16-5 run here. Melton passes to Warren. Here's Melton. Kicks to Johnson. Down low, knocked loose, and we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And the Knicks with possession here. And so it's Smith with it. He'll bring it up for the Knicks. Allen right side, trying his luck deep. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 4 assists in the game. And the Suns call time.
Well, the Suns with just 21 wins last season. That's the second worst record in franchise history. This is a very proud franchise. So only their inaugural season as an expansion team in the NBA back in 1969 was worse. Brighter days for the Suns ahead.
Let's go to the 2K leaderboard. These teams have been terrific at turning turnovers into points. Fourth, the Suns.
They're so aware defensively. I mean, an opportunistic group in terms of forcing miscues and getting out in transition. And boy, do they do a great job of taking advantage.
Now here's Crawford. Pass to Bender. Back to Crawford. It's stolen by Smith. 4 on 3 as they bring it up. Over Crawford. Smith, no luck. Phoenix leading by 23. Jackson deciding where to go with it. Crawford kicks to Warren. No good that time. Good D by Thomas.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Good on the three-point shot.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
Phoenix has gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Outside Jackson. Takes a three. It's rebounded by New York. Smith's got his 5th rebound in this one. Hezonja finds Moutier. The three-pointer no good. For Phoenix, they've gone 7 of 13 in the third quarter so far, just above 50%. Crawford's shot is good.
Well, Crawford putting on the Jets breathtaking speed when he's driving to the hoop.
New York's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. Back to Hezonja. Now Moutier. He's got 5. 6 on the shot clock. Thomas, it's a wide open look. The basket good off the assist from Moutier. Moutier's got 6 assists now in the game. Phoenix leading by 19. Crawford with the ball. Now Smith defending. Outside Warren. The pass to Jackson. Stolen by Thomas. Here's Hezonja, and finished off by Hezonja.
And all of a sudden, things finally coming together for them. The deficit's still large, but now not insurmountable.
Well, the run simply has given them a chance. Great work on both ends. They've got to now ratchet up a notch.
Crawford drives in, buries it from about 10 feet away. Crawford's got 4 this quarter. Here's New York. They're on a 14-6 run. Ntilikina passes to Smith. Outside Thomas. Over in the corner, Moutier. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Thomas. New York needs to get off a shot. Ntilikina can't hit. The Suns shooting a stellar 60% since the halftime break. Fires the 3. Moutier with the rebound. Knicks trail by 19. Crawford against Smith. Passes to Ntilikina. Back to Smith. Gets that one through the hole, make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
Working on his interior game, Smith Jr. is very aware he has what it takes to score from there.
Phoenix calls timeout. And Frank Ntilikina, you know, Brent, he has shown tremendous promise, but also has all the usual growing pains of a young player.
Well, entered the league at just 19 years of age, and a lot of questions about the level of competition in France before it is that Frank made his way over to the Big Apple. But he's a very versatile defender and showed some great flashes last year of lateral quickness, good length, and, of course, great instinct on that end of the floor.
Bridges, he's checked in for the Suns. Booker comes in for Jamal Crawford.
And you'll take that shot every time down. Beautiful work all the way around.
Now here's Moutier, defended by Booker. And here is Hezonja. 10 points for him. Over to the left wing. Dotson drains it from beyond the arc. Dotson's got 14 points.
And defensively, you have got to extend to their shooters. They have been on fire this half.
Yeah, and then the fear sets in that you're going to create driving lanes that could lead to easy buckets. This is not an easy fix.
From the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, it is the era of positionless basketball, but how exactly did we get here? Well, new defensive rules at the turn of the century encouraged face-up scoring, motion-based offense, and guard play over isolation and post-ups. As a result, offensive roles have become more interchangeable.
It has become a positionless game now. David, thank you very much. New York shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. The first free throw is good. Brent being disruptive, forcing turnovers, something the Knicks couldn't do last season.
Yeah, last year 29th in the league in steals. The roster was more big than quick last year, so unable to extend some of their pressure because of the way that they played. It makes it hard to fire up some of that transition offense if you're not getting out there and getting steals.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
And had the right idea there in calling for the screen, but he was just slow to get to the spot and didn't get set.
A lot of this is just poor effort right now. He knows what the timing of the play should be. He gets a little lazy about what it could be.
The Knicks making a switch here. Knox is checked in. Now here's Moutier. 5 points in the game. 1:24 left here in the third quarter. And it's slammed in by Bridges.
Well, this is why the teammates for Booker are loving him. He keeps working on his ability to find the open teammate.
Moutier looking around. That's tipped to the right side. No good from outside.
That's like milk on a hot day. Just a bad decision. Absolutely no reason for him to be taking those shots.
Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him. So we'll get to see Josh Jackson go to the line here. Emmanuel Moutier picks one up. Robinson's checked in for New York.
One shot, gentlemen.
At the end of last season, the Suns' Devin Booker says he's done not making the playoffs. He said he'd challenge himself to get better. But, Brent, did you read that as maybe an ultimatum to the Suns?
I don't know. I mean, build a winner or he's gone. Is that the kind of ultimatum we're talking about? I did like the idea that he talked about him first getting better, because that's your job as a player in the offseason. But we'll see with the additions the Suns made and their young nucleus. Maybe the new coach coming in, Igor Kokoskov, maybe they'll start paving that road now.
Here's Trier after Josh Jackson's bucket. Shoots over Bender, and a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Trier's got 4 points this quarter. Booker with it. 24 points for him. On the wing, Daniels. For the three. Good. And a nice assist from Booker. Booker's got 5 assists tonight.
And whatever the adjustments at halftime, they are looking really good right now.
Yeah, scratching my head trying to remember the last time that they missed. They're on an absolute tear.
And so it's the Phoenix Suns finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. And they're winning the turnover battle very easily in this one. And we'll be right back after this. And now we have a moment to reveal our State Farm assist of the game.
And the definition of teamwork right there, guys. I mean, what great communication between them, and what a beautiful feed.
The coaches talk about it all the time, but to be able to play with that kind of feel, nice play, collaborating, improvising, and organic.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And it's Moutier with the ball. He brings it up for the Knicks. On the court now for the Suns, getting going here in the fourth. We've got Bridges. Tyler Johnson is out there with Booker. Then there's Kelly Oubre. And it's Holmes in at the 5 spot. And it's out of bounds. The Knicks able to retain possession here. Outside Robinson, 6 to shoot. Ball's knocked loose and taken away by Johnson. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. And stolen by Vonleh. He's got a clear path. Stops, pops, Trier, that's good. Trier's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Knicks. Suns leading by 22. Johnson with the bounce pass. Now here's Oubre. He's guarded closely. Back to Johnson. 6 to shoot. Pass to Holmes. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. And the foul goes against New York. Well, we know that Dr. James Naismith came up with the idea when he was teaching at the YMCA. But as far as skill development, Brent, some feel that maybe in the skill category that the USA has fallen behind a little bit.
Take a
Do you
break.
agree?
Take a break.
I think what the United States is doing on that level between your late grade school years and AAU programs in particular and your high school years, that they're trying to address this issue and get ahead of it a little bit. For years, there was a 10-year or 15-year gap about European players being schooled and being in institutions where they were basically young professionals from the age of 12 to 14 having school and basketball and being at a facility for just those things specifically. The last few years, there's been a lot of concern with players being more adept and more skilled here in the States. The change is coming.
Here's Trier, guarded by Holmes. Oubre with the steal. And here comes the break. Here's Bridges. And he banks in the layup.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
New York shooting about 42% so far. Moutier pass to Knox. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. Clock at 6. Here's Moutier, and again it's New York.
I don't know how you guard that kind of move there, shown off by Moutier. An incredible play.
Suns shooting 55% from the floor. They're feeling very confident offensively. And Booker kicks to Johnson. About a quarter of the players in the NBA were born outside the USA. Brent, could that percentage swell to half within a couple decades?
I don't think we're ever going to get that far with foreign-born players, but it's exciting to see all the representation around the league. We've certainly had some standouts, and I'm a little bit sad that this year might be the last year we see one of the most incredible players, if not the best European player the league's ever seen, in Dirk Nowitzki, probably retiring in Dallas after the year. Tyler Johnson, the 6'4" combo guard out of Fresno State, very lightly recruited out of high school and undrafted in 2014. He has just had doubters every step of the way and proved them wrong.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Cornette's checked in, and Ellison's subbed in for Vonleh. Well, think about Tyler Johnson, Brent, overcoming the doubts. His 4-year, $50 million contract in 2016 was widely questioned around the NBA.
Yeah, there are a lot of contracts in that summer that are questionable just because of the timing of the salary cap bump. But Brooklyn had signed him as a restricted free agent. The Heat matched, and Tyler Johnson just looking forward to going out and making himself a better player. That's his job. Now, that's a shot right there he's going to hit 9 times out of 10. We just saw the 10% he doesn't make.
Okobo, no good that time. The Knicks go the other way with it. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Trier. He's guarded by Johnson. Allen outside. Three-pointer on the way. And again, it's the Knicks missing. The Suns have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Johnson finds holes. Johnson against Allen. The steal. They get a hand on it. Johnson inside. Defended by Allen. Melton, no good. And so Allen will bring it up for New York. Here's Ellenson. Pass to Bridges. Okobo. Phoenix, no good that time either. New York's gone 0-3 so far in the 4th quarter from long range. The shot by Trier, no good.
Well, he made 1 3 in the first half, but he hasn't found a way to connect again from outside during the second.
Bridges misses.
And forcing the miss there, he just knows how to pressure you defensively.
You hear a lot about rim protection. This is a good example of how valuable it can be.
And that's definitely a shot that he has in his arsenal.
Johnson against Allen. Johnson outside. This is the 2nd year with the sponsored patches on the jersey. Advertising more or less. Have you gotten used to seeing those things?
Yeah, I think it was no problem last year.
They're small, they're unintrusive.
Some teams did some really cool creative things with the color schemes, and I don't think we've seen the last of that, Kevin.
We see it in European games on their jerseys.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to recognize the number with how many advertisements are on the jerseys. But
billboard.
Yeah, I don't think we're done with it yet.
For New York, they've gone 4 of 8 in this 4th quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. Here's Ellenson. And the pass to Knox. He kicks to Ellenson. Clock is at 3. Allen for 3. That doesn't go either for Allen. Phoenix has gone 1 of 2 from 3-point range here in the 4th. Here's Melton. It's deflected. Allen surveying the D. And that one hits back iron.
And I know we want to assume these shots are going in. The defense definitely blew an assignment there, but still got lucky.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Mikal Bridges. That's his 3rd foul of the game for the Knicks. Thomas checked in for Knox. And Smith subbed in for Trier. The Suns making a switch here. And taking care of the ball has been a problem for them.
That's something they've got to fix. While the defense has been good, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced.
Cornette. No good from outside. Well, Phoenix shooting just 30% from the field here in the 4th. Game is so wide open now, Brent. Such a great pace. Does that put more strain on bigger players physically?
I think it's putting strain on everybody. I think last year we saw
regardless of size.
Yeah, injuries to every position, to key guys at every position. I think that some of the physical motions that players have to perform in games because they're covering more ground and in susceptible positions, it's happening to everybody. The issue with the big guys, Kevin, is they're not playing. Less of them are getting more important time on the floor, so it's a strain on everybody.
Smith, the pass to Cornette. And he lays it straight in.
And you'll take that shot every time down. Beautiful work all the way around.
Well, Phoenix shooting 51% from the field. They'll take that. Outside Warren. Knocked away. Stolen by Ellenson. And now the Knicks on the break. Thomas is running. Out to Smith. The three. That one falls, coming off of Thomas's feet. And that's 19 points for Smith.
Now this is more like it. 9 points for him from three-point range this half. That's 9 more than he had in the first.
Passes it to Warren. And here is Holmes. Lets the three fly. And the shot by Warren, no good.
You could see he wanted to get him back. Sadly, he couldn't capitalize from outside the arc.
Cornette laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Cornette's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And that's just too easy, too big, too far inside. And that's as simple as it gets.
Outside Warren. The league and players union, Brent, both have expressed supporting guys who express their views and social concerns. You like that?
I think it's amazing the way the league has backed some of the avenues with which players have used their voices.
Embraced.
Well, extending well beyond just saying things, Kevin, because we know actions speak louder than words, and there are so many guys around our league that do important philanthropic work. But the fact that the league supports all of those things, the fact that you see Adam Silver show up at some of these events, or that there's press releases from the league office about some of the things guys are doing. There's amazing cohesion when it comes to the league and its players, because they understand that everything that they're doing has such a significant impact in the communities in which they live in and around the game with which we all love.
Well said. And both free throws good for Evans. Certain guys can play within themselves and still dominate. You played along one of the best that you saw up close in Tim Duncan.
Well, one of the things I think about with Tim is how many numbers he left on the board, Kevin. The way that Coach Popovich played him, minimal minutes, touches when needed most, where Tim usually came through, but how much more dominant he truly could have been.
And he didn't care about numbers, did he?
Not at all. He cared about one number, and that's putting W's on the board. But how many more things Tim Duncan would have led categorically in the history of the NBA at the power forward position, but overall, the numbers would have been staggering.
And the Suns making a change here. Johnson's checked in. Johnson against Smith. Brett, they're always trying to make the All-Star game itself more competitive. Is that an important thing to do?
I don't think overall it's important to do it, Kevin. I mean, it is an exhibition, but I do like the attentiveness of the players over the past couple of years talking about how it is they want to approach the game. It ends up being a high-scoring affair with a lot of highlights, but overall, it's not the most important thing for the weekend.
Here's Trier, and they come right back with their own three-pointer. Trier's got 9 points now in just the second half. Now here's Johnson. Lays it up off the glass. Johnson's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Yeah, Tyler Johnson with some creative play there. Knows how to get inside there, using the angle, the body. Finishes that one with ease.
Robinson dishes to Smith. Over Booker. That one wide left. Phoenix has gotten off 4 three-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. And the Suns tack on 2 more.
Well, Booker doing a good job that time. Instead of looking for the shot, looking for a teammate.
Smith inside. Johnson's there. Pass to Trier. Here's Knox. Covered by Oubre. Clock at 6. Smith for 3. And again, New York with the triple.
And done it in a variety of ways. When Smith starts to feel it, boy, he can torch you off the drive as well as with the jumper.
Do you see a lot of player tampering right now in the NBA?
Well, how do you define it, Kevin?
Well, if a player wants to go out and recruit other players that may be under contract with another team.
I see that a lot then, Kevin. I mean, it happens all the time. Players talking about what are you thinking about doing and about, wow, don't you think this would be great if we could get together on the floor in 2021? Let's try to.
But management doing it is a completely different animal.
Management cannot do it, although some teams have walked that tightrope a little bit to the point where they've fallen off in recent years. But the idea of players not ever talking to one another about the potential of being together.
Come on, right?
It's always happening.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for Phoenix.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so this will mark the 15th win of the year for them.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Devin Booker.
Well, he could not be stopped on offense. Super efficient tonight. There wasn't a lot the defense could do.
So it's Phoenix now. Johnson kicks to Booker. Another one falls for Phoenix.
And this is how you close out a game, not taking any chances.
Yeah, you gotta be relentless in this game or the tide can turn on you. Not here, not tonight.
And Vonleh has it in the corner. Fires the three. Good. So it's the Suns winning easily here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.